So the sneak peek leak for Boruto chapter 31 has just been released. And this isn't the only thing that we see being released, as there is a lot more information about various projects that will be released very soon. So we'll be talking about that at the end of this video after we talk about the sneak peek. So make sure to watch the video in its entirety. But starting off with the sneak peek leaks itself, we basically continue off right where we left off. I do believe that this leak that we're seeing right here is definitely the early pages that were being shown. And I don't know if we're going to be getting the spoilers for this month. We could just be getting sneak peek leaks, as there is a big movement right now to stop the entire spoiler process, as it is taken away from people who actually end up reading the official release. So maybe this week we will not be getting the full pages as we do usually get. We'll either get some text spoilers, and then we'll have to wait for the official release to then end up inspecting what is going on, just to let you guys know if you guys don't end up seeing some spoilers. But what we do have is the sneak peek, and we end up seeing a Kashin Koji and a Kobu. We see that Kashin Koji says this to Inojin: if by any chance things stay as they are right now and Kobu dies, you'll be going to the afterlife along. That's the kind of technique mind-body switch is. I know that. But Inojin replies. So clearly what we're seeing right here is that if Inojin doesn't end up stopping this jutsu, doesn't end up releasing the jutsu and basically letting Kobu die, then he will be sacrificing his own life, and both of them will go to the underworld. One thing is quite interesting that we see is that back in the days, we did see something similar with Ino, where she did take damage to her own actual body when she was taking control of another person, and that person was damaged. But I didn't know that it would go so far as if the person that she, or Inojin in this case, is controlling, if that person ends up dying while Inojin's soul is inside that body, then his actual body will die too. So it is a very complicated situation, and you can't tell me that Kashin Koji isn't evil. I've been telling you guys this. Some people disagree. Some people say that it is necessary that Kobu has to go. I really don't care what the justification is, because you could justify an evil act because something bad was going to happen if Kobu stayed alive. It doesn't justify killing him, because Kobu isn't doing anything actually wrong. He's trying his best to make sure that Konoha stays a safe place. And Kashin Koji right now is putting not only the life of an innocent person at risk, but he is also putting the life of Inojin at risk, and using that as a way to force Inojin into making the move that he desires, forcing Inojin to be an accomplice of whatever Kashin Koji desires. And this is very interesting that we're seeing this. How do you guys feel about Kashin Koji? You guys definitely have to let me know in the comment section, because from my own personal stance, I understand the fact that he's doing everything for the greater good, but I do think that he's going pretty far here. I don't think Kobu deserves to die at all. That's my personal stance, and I definitely want to hear yours. But predicting what will be happening this chapter, what we could see next, I told you guys, what I think we're going to be seeing next is a Boruto who comes to save the day. I do believe that Inojin, due to the major reason why he unlocked these various abilities and is so prominent in this arc, it has been due to Himawari. He wants to prevent Himawari from dying. That has been his mission, and the reason why he ended up working with a traitor known as Boruto. So if he dies right now, he would be letting Himawari potentially die, as Kashin Koji went to Inojin because one of Inojin's abilities is going to be key to preventing the Senju from winning. So what I do believe that we'll end up seeing is that Inojin ends up releasing the jutsu, and then he would be indirectly killing Kobu. But this is where we will end up seeing a person like Boruto come and save the day. Boruto will save the day and almost serve as a hold on. How is Boruto, this traitor that we all believe, why is he doing this? And it will all go back to the fact that Boruto's individual actions will be what reverse omnipotence, just like Sasuke believed. If Boruto is truly Boruto, just as he claims to be the same Boruto as before, then his individual actions will match with what Boruto would have done in the past, and will slowly start to shift the perspective that people have of Boruto and that of Kawaki, if Kawaki also remains the same Kawaki as before. So Boruto, who doesn't follow the same ideologies as somebody like Kashin Koji, going to go and save Kobu will ultimately result in the slow shift of Boruto coming to be seen as a hero. So I believe that Boruto will do just that. But what will happen is multiple consequences. And the consequences of Boruto saving Kobu's life will definitely be Shikamaru being removed as Hokage. Because it will then be like, hold on, so Boruto, the one who we all believe is a traitor, he saved my life, but the person who endangered my life was you, Shikamaru, because it was only after Shikamaru met with Kobu that he ended up being taken over. And we do know that we've seen in the Naruto series that characters who were taken over by the mind transferring jutsu, they still are aware of everything that is going on. So Kobu is clearly aware that somebody is possessing his body. And low-key, Boruto saving Kobu's life, although it is the right thing to do in a way, it does create multiple problems. Because not only are you now having Shikamaru, who is definitely going to be removed as Hokage, but what Inojin did just there, he could be banished. He could be in prison due to this action because he then tried to kill somebody who represents the daimyo, and that is something that is definitely bad, and it could place Sai in a very confusing position. So all of this could really end up leading to massive political changes in the village, and I would love to see that take place. From a story perspective, it would make the Boruto story even more intriguing to me. So I hope this is the path that the story ends up going. I hope that Kobu doesn't end up dying. I hope that Boruto is the one who ultimately comes and saves Kobu's life, and then we see the ramifications of Boruto's actions that he deemed to be just, and this worst future that Kashin Koji alludes to Kobu not being killed and Shikamaru dying. Can we see the return of Kakashi? Personally, that's why I want Kobu to stay, and that's why I want to see Shikamaru be removed as Hokage, so that we can finally see Kakashi. Ikimoto has hinted at Kakashi having a role in the story for way too long, and it was ever since 2019. It's been so long. And I really do hope that he does accomplish what he did say back then, that why is Kakashi such a popular character not in the Boruto series? And he says that saying anything would be a spoiler. Obviously, there could have been changes in the Boruto story, which doesn't allow for Kakashi to be there, but I personally believe that that won't be the case. I hope that Kakashi makes an appearance, and this way of thinking at it, these predictions, is what is possibly going to allow it to take place. So before we move on to extra information that we learned about Boruto and potential new projects, let me know your personal predictions in the comment section. I'll be replying to all of the comments, especially if you're watching this in the first day of the video being released, so let me know your predictions. But speaking about these Boruto projects, we get a lot of information. The first thing that is being released concerning Boruto is Boruto figurines. You see that Boruto is going to be getting an official figurine that is drawn by Ikimoto, and then it's going to be, I don't know how the figurine process actually ends up working, but then an actual official figurine of Boruto is going to be released, and this is how it will look like. It will most likely be painted over and have its own colors, but this is a bit of like a sneak peek, a spoiler of how exactly it will look like, and it definitely looks peak. This is something I could call for myself, I'm not gonna lie. But that's not the only thing. We also hear that Boruto in April is going to be the cover of V-Jump. And usually when Boruto is the cover of V-Jump, it means something crazy is going to happen in that chapter or in the chapter after it. So in these chapters building up to April, I do believe that we're going to be getting closer and closer to the climax. Are we going to see somebody get devoured? Are we going to see crazy Boruto powers? Sarada versus Hidari? There's so much that's going to be happening very soon. And based off what we see in this chapter, we're going to be closer to seeing what we could potentially be seeing in that April chapter when it is released. But that's not the only thing too. We have extra information that during the 10th anniversary of the Boruto series, we will be getting news of more Boruto projects. And they don't say project as in the singular, but they say projects as plural. Boruto right now has been going through a lot of promotions. If you're tapped into Twitter, you would see a bunch of Japanese fans, especially due to the new murals that have been published all around Japan, are buying Boruto volumes and are curious about the series. Everybody wants to know why Boruto betrayed the village because of omnipotence. It almost seems that everybody who hasn't actually read the Boruto series right now is trapped in omnipotence because they don't know what actually goes on. So when the promotional material says that Boruto became a traitor, everybody actually thinks that Boruto is a traitor and now is reading the series to figure out why Boruto ended up betraying everybody. So it's pretty cool to see what's going on. But the 10th anniversary could be a moment where we either get an announcement of the anime, as in Boruto's anime is in production, we get a trailer maybe in 2027 and then it's released later on that year, or maybe in 2028, or we hear something completely different. We are expecting a Q&A from Ikimoto, but we could be getting more information about other projects related to Boruto. Maybe a Boruto movie. That's what I personally hope. I hope the end of the Boruto series is a movie. Just like it began with a movie, it ends with a movie. That'd be a pretty cool conclusion. So, you guys definitely let me know your thoughts, comments, and concerns about everything we discussed in this video. It's been your boy Dynasty, and I'm out, bruh.